She was more than just a babysitter, she was practically part of the family, trustworthy, sweet, attentive, until one ordinary afternoon, she vanished. And she took the child with her. It was September 13th, 2017, in a quiet suburb of Louisville, Kentucky. The Lanes, a working couple, had left their 4-year-old son, Noah, in the care of 22-year-old Marissa Holtz, a babysitter they'd trusted for nearly 2 years. 911, what's your emergency?
Hi, this is Anna Lane. I came home. The house was empty. Marissa's gone. And Noah is gone. I've been calling her. There's no answer. Please, please help me.
What started as a routine day ended in chaos. There were no signs of a break-in, no signs of struggle. Marissa's car was gone. So was Noah's favorite stuffed animal, Mr. Lion.
I saw Marissa around 2 p.m. She was putting Noah in the car like always. She even waved. I thought they were going to the park.
But Marissa didn't go to the park. She didn't go to the store. Her phone was last pinged near a rest stop off I-65, 2 hours south of Louisville. After that, silence.
No signs of a struggle, no notes, no ransom demands. It's like she just decided to take him and disappear.
Police discovered Marissa had emptied her bank account 2 days before. She'd also deleted her social media accounts. Her apartment, cleaned out. Even the landlord didn't know she was planning to leave.
She started acting weird in August. She asked me if I ever felt like just leaving, like starting over. I didn't think much of it, but she wasn't herself.
As investigators dug deeper, well, they discovered something no one in the Lane family knew. Marissa wasn't her real name. Her legal name was Melissa Jane Rowan, and, she had changed her identity 2 years earlier, after being investigated, though never charged, for a suspected child abduction in Colorado in 2014. The details were eerily similar. A child disappeared under her care, and was found 5 days later, alone, unharmed. But Melissa was never found. So, how did she become the trusted babysitter of the Lane family? A stolen identity, a clean slate, no fingerprints on file.
She was part of our family. I don't understand. Why Noah? Why us? What did we miss?
Interpol was alerted. Amber alerts were issued across multiple states. The case made national headlines for 1 week. Then, nothing. No leads, no sightings, no trace. Until 1 year later.
We received a tip from a truck driver in Georgia. He said he saw a woman matching Marissa's description. She had a child with her, blonde, about 5. They were at a diner, and when he mentioned the Amber Alert, she left. Fast.
Surveillance footage from that diner showed a woman and a boy. They looked happy, normal. But the image was blurry, not definitive. No fingerprints, no follow-up trail. Was it Noah? Was it Marissa? Or Melissa? Or someone else entirely? Some believe she truly cared for Noah, that she planned this for months, that she wanted a child of her own. Others believe it's something darker, a pattern, a compulsion, and that Noah may not be the only one. I wasn't surprised when I saw her on the news again. There's a look in her eye. She's not unstable. She's calculated, calm. She waits for trust. Then she takes. Today, Noah Lane would be 12 years old. If he's still alive, his case remains open, and the woman once known as Marissa Holtz is still on the run. No body, no answers, no closure, just vanished whispers of a child taken by someone they trusted like family. If you have any information about the disappearance of Noah Lane or the whereabouts of Marissa Holtz, also known as Melissa Jane Rowan, contact the Louisville Metro Police Department or your local FBI field office. This has been Vanished Whispers, True Crime. Subscribe for more true life mysteries, and remember, sometimes the ones we trust the most are the ones we know the least. Gap 3S. I saw a woman matching Marissa's description at the playground that afternoon. She seemed nervous, kept looking over her shoulder. She left in a hurry, dragging the boy behind her. Another neighbor reported seeing a blue sedan speeding away around the same time. No one got the license plate. The police canvassed the area, but no one else saw anything unusual. The sense of unease grew as more details emerged. Gap 3S, Detective Rivera. We have no ransom note, no demands. The babysitter's phone is off. We're tracking her financials, but she's covered her tracks. 911 dispatcher. Did you notice anything missing from the house? Anna Lane, just Noah's favorite toy, and Marissa's things. It's like she planned this. Detective Rivera, we're checking traffic cameras and interviewing everyone who knew her. Gap 3S. Police found a torn page from a children's book in a rest stop trash can, Noah's name scribbled on it. Security footage showed a woman and child at a gas station, but the faces were obscured. A child's shoe was found in a nearby field, but it didn't match Noah's size. The evidence was mounting, but nothing led to a breakthrough. The case grew colder with every passing day. Voiceover. 1 year later, just as hope had faded, a postcard arrived at the Lane family home. The postmark? Mexico. The handwriting was unmistakably Marissa's. The message was chillingly simple. He's safe, he's happy, don't look for us. Authorities quickly traced the postcard, but the trail vanished in a bustling border town. Was this the truth at last, or a cruel, calculated hoax? For Noah's family, the mystery only deepened, leaving them with a haunting question. Was their search finally over, or had it just begun? Voiceover. Gap 3S. The case remains open. No arrests, no closure. The Lane family still waits for answers. The community is haunted by what happened. And somewhere the truth lingers, just out of reach. The story ends, not with justice, but with silence. Sometimes the scariest mysteries are the ones that never end. Voiceover. As the investigation deepened, more witnesses came forward. A neighbor recalled seeing a suspicious van parked near the Lane residence the night before the disappearance. Another local, walking her dog, described a figure hurriedly leaving the scene, face obscured by a hood. Each statement added new layers to the mystery, challenging the detectives to piece together the truth from a web of conflicting accounts. Voiceover. Detective Rivera reviewed the latest police transcripts. The 911 dispatcher's log revealed a series of anonymous calls reporting strange noises and shadowy figures in the area. The transcripts hinted at a coordinated effort, but the voices on the line remained untraceable. The tension in the precinct grew as officers realized the case was far more complex than they had imagined. Voiceover. Forensic teams uncovered a torn piece of fabric and a child's toy in a nearby abandoned building. The items were sent for analysis, and the results were chilling: traces of sedatives and an unfamiliar DNA profile. The evidence pointed to a calculated abduction, orchestrated by someone who knew the family's routines intimately. Voiceover. As suspicion mounted, Anna Lane's past came under scrutiny. Old friends revealed she had once been involved in a custody battle, and her relationship with the child's parents was more complicated than it seemed. Anna's emotional turmoil and cryptic behavior cast doubt on her innocence, forcing the detectives to reconsider every assumption. Voiceover. In a shocking turn, Miss Gregory, the family's longtime neighbor, confessed to withholding crucial information. She admitted to seeing Anna meet with a mysterious stranger days before the disappearance. The confession shifted the investigation's focus, unraveling a hidden network of secrets and betrayals. Voiceover. After weeks of relentless investigation, the pieces finally fell into place. The mysterious stranger was identified as a distant relative with a history of mental illness. The child was found safe, hidden in a remote cabin, and Anna was cleared of all suspicion. The community breathed a collective sigh of relief as the case was closed, but the scars of the ordeal lingered, a reminder of how quickly life can change. Voiceover. Just as the dust seemed to settle, an unexpected call jolted the investigation back to life. An anonymous tipster, their voice distorted and trembling, claimed to have seen the babysitter and the child together in an isolated woodland clearing, far from the cabin where the child was found. Detectives, fueled by a mix of hope and dread, scrambled to trace the call and reach the location before any evidence could vanish. The forest was eerily silent as the search team arrived, flashlights cutting through the thick underbrush. But instead of finding the missing pair, they stumbled upon a chilling clue: a child's shoe, carefully placed atop a weathered tree stump, with a cryptic note tucked inside. The message read, "Not everything is as it seems." The discovery sent a fresh wave of uncertainty through the team. Was the ordeal truly over, or had they only scratched the surface of a deeper, more twisted mystery? Voiceover. In the dimly lit confines of the police interview room, two figures sat across from each other: Anna Lane, her face etched with exhaustion and fear, and Miss Gregory, the child's mother, her eyes burning with a mixture of anguish and accusation. The silence between them was thick, broken only by the distant hum of fluorescent lights. Miss Gregory's voice trembled as she spoke. "You were supposed to protect her, Anna. How could you let this happen?" Anna's hands shook as she clasped them together, struggling to meet Miss Gregory's gaze. "I never meant for any of this. I cared for her. I cared for both of you. But you never trusted me. Not really." Miss Gregory's composure cracked, tears streaming down her face. "You always pushed your way into our lives. You kept secrets, Anna, I know you did. Why?" A heavy pause hung in the air. Anna's voice broke, revealing a vulnerability she'd kept hidden. "Because I was afraid you'd find out about my past, about what happened to my own sister. I thought I could protect your daughter the way I couldn't protect mine, but I failed." The room felt colder, the weight of confession settling between them. Miss Gregory's anger softened, replaced by a deep, aching sorrow. She reached across the table, her hand trembling. "We both lost something, Anna. Maybe we can help each other find the truth." As the confrontation ended, the investigation took on new meaning, no longer just a search for answers, but a desperate quest for forgiveness and understanding. Voiceover. Just as hope seemed to flicker and fade, a new and disturbing clue shattered the fragile calm. Early one morning, a search party combing the dense woods behind the Gregory family's neighborhood stumbled upon something half buried beneath a tangle of roots, a small, brightly colored jacket. It was unmistakable, the same jacket the missing child wore on the day she vanished. The fabric was muddied and torn, but a name tag, her name, remained clearly sewn inside. As investigators cordoned off the area, neighbors gathered in hushed clusters, exchanging fearful glances. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community, but it also brought suspicion dangerously close to home. The location of the jacket, far from the main search area, raised unsettling questions. How did it get there? Had someone moved it? And if so, who? Police turned their attention to those nearest to the family, re-examining alibis and searching for inconsistencies. For Miss Gregory and Anna, the revelation was a devastating blow, forcing them to relive the nightmare and wonder if someone they trusted could be hiding the darkest of secrets. The case, once thought to be growing cold, was now burning hotter than ever, its answers buried somewhere beneath layers of fear, guilt, and deception. Voiceover. With the community on edge and evidence pointing in unsettling directions, Detective Rivera knew it was time to seek expert insight. Late one evening, in the muted light of the precinct's interview room, she sat across from Dr. Mason, a seasoned criminal psychologist. Rivera laid out the case files, photographs, and the latest discovery, the child's jacket. Dr. Mason listened intently, piecing together behavioral patterns and subtle inconsistencies. "The person responsible may not be who everyone expects," he explained. "Often these cases involve someone close, someone who can expertly mask their true intentions. Watch for sudden changes in demeanor, unexplained absences, or obsessive interest in the investigation itself." Rivera pressed for more. "What kind of motive would drive someone to do this?" Dr. Mason's answer was chilling. "It could be a need for control, unresolved trauma, or even misplaced affection. Sometimes the perpetrator wants to be seen as a hero, searching, helping, while hiding in plain sight." The psychologist's words echoed in Rivera's mind as she reviewed her notes, the faces of friends, neighbors, and even family members blurring together. The case was no longer just about finding the missing child. It was about unraveling the darkest corners of the human mind. Each revelation brought them closer to the truth, but also deeper into a web of secrets and psychological shadows. Voiceover. As weeks turned into months, the case that had once consumed headlines faded into the background, but the ache in the community's heart remained. On a chilly evening, neighbors gathered in the town square, candles flickering in trembling hands, casting long shadows across faces etched with worry and hope. Parents clutched their children a little tighter. Friends exchanged quiet glances, searching for answers in the silence. Detective Rivera stood among them, her badge hidden beneath a heavy coat, feeling the weight of every unanswered question. A lone voice began to sing the melody, fragile but unwavering. Soon, others joined their voices, rising together, not in certainty, but in solidarity. For a moment, suspicion and fear gave way to unity as the community vowed never to forget. But as the candles burned low and the crowd dispersed, the mystery hung in the air like mist. Somewhere out there, the truth waited, just beyond reach. Was the answer hidden among them, or lost forever? The screen fades to black, leaving only the soft glow of the last candle, and the echo of questions that refuse to be silenced. Voiceover. As dawn breaks over the quiet town, the community gathers in silent remembrance. Anna, her voice trembling but resolute, addresses the crowd. "We have endured darkness, but together we found hope. Though scars remain, love and unity guide us forward. Detective Rivera stands beside her, offering a gentle nod. The camera pans over faces, some tearful, some hopeful. The story of the vanished child has changed them all, forging bonds that will never break. As the sun rises, a sense of peace settles. The case may never be fully solved, but the community's strength and compassion shine brighter than any shadow, fade out with gentle, uplifting music and the words, "In memory, we find meaning. In unity, we find healing."